Welcome to another episode of MuzNet Live. I'm your host, Kishroy Spencer. And again, just want to thank you for rocking with us for all these past shows and even the upcoming ones, and even this particular one. Tonight, we have a special guest, Jonifin Marvin, featuring the Unity Vibration Band. To our Caribbean folk, Wagwan, big up myself, and I done know. And if you would like to get featured even on upcoming shows, visit MuzNet.com. Once again, MuzNet.com, or just look on the link below. Yep, right on screen, MuzNet.com. And this one, again, thank you guys for always tuning into our shows. We got much more artists coming up. Some we could tell you, and some I think you guys want to find out for yourself. But without further ado, we'd like to welcome you guys and start the show with the one, the only, Jonifin Marvin, featuring the Unity Vibration Band.
Blessings and all your days. Give love to all and you will receive. So me say, oh, time something, it come back again. Play rubber dub, let the dance nice again. Smoke your chronic head, enjoy yourself. We're gonna dance to the light of me. Oh, time something, it come back again. Play rubber dub, let the dance nice again. Hold somebody and enjoy yourself. We're gonna dance to the light. Even though we are wise and we are the kings, we must provide for our younger kin. Grandma and grandpa and today, and all who have come from so we say jump up, jump up. We make the dance all a come up, come up. The younger youths are both gunshot, gunshot. In Babylon I try, try. So we say jump up, jump up. We make the dance all a come up, come up. The younger youths are both gunshot, gunshot. In Babylon I try, done that, run that, run that. Yeah. So the thing say something it come back again. Play your back up, let the dance nice again. Smoke your chronic head, enjoy yourself. We're gonna dance to the light of me. Whole time something it come back again. Play your back up, let the dance nice again. Hold somebody head, enjoy yourself. Turn up, listen. Johnny say jump up, jump up. We made the dance all a crunk up, crunk up. The youngster youth are both gunshot, gunshot. In Babylon I try, done that, run that, run that. Jump up, jump up. We make the dance all a crunk up, crunk up. The youngster youths are both gunshot, gunshot. In Babylon I try, tell them I try right now. Listen, tell them I try, oh, them I try, yeah. Something it come back again. Play rubber dub, let the dance nice again. Smoke your chronic head, enjoy yourself. We're gonna dance to the light of me. One time something it come back again. Play rubber dub, let the dance nice again. Hold somebody and enjoy yourself. We're gonna dance to the light of me. Coming, 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 coming. In the place. And once again, I am Jonifin Marvin, and I also go by Fin Music Universal, any name you want to call. to say, girl. I just wanna see your face when I start off my days, girl. So me I stick with you. Sure. Oh, oh. I stick with you, girl. Oh, oh. I stick with you. Oh, oh. The girl I stick with you, girl. Oh, oh. I always think I am right, but no say she right. She lick of us and fight, and then we do it all night, girl. So me I stick with you. Oh, oh. I stick with you, girl. Oh, oh. Me I stick with you. Oh, oh. The girl I stick with you, girl. Oh, oh. Give you a loving in the daytime, and I give you a loving in the nighttime. Anytime is the right time. Anytime is the right time. Tell if you know in place, girl. Say this I love can't erase. The girl that stay one place, girl. Me I stick with you. Oh, oh. I stick with you, girl. Oh, oh. Me I stick with you. Oh, oh. The girl that stick with you, girl. Unity Vibration on the back end. Miss Kwani on the back end. Yeah, we're there.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of MuzNet Live. I'm your host, Kishroy Spencer, with our special guest, none other than Jonifin, not to confuse it with Jonathan, but Jonifin Marvin.
Yes, Jonifin with an F.
Jonathan with an F.
And there's some other extra letters in there, but we won't talk about that right now. Yeah.
Listen, man, I know the
Yeah.
alphabet, but I ain't gonna get you in trouble, man.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that.
Anytime, man. Listen, you already got your shirt off, man. Listen.
Nevin told you what was going to happen.
Yeah, see, he
Yeah.
told me, but I wasn't really warned. It's like, when you have kids, they tell you to have them, but it's cool, but it's not till you get them. It's like, y'all really didn't warn us.
Yeah. Whenever he says the shirt's probably going to come off, it's
It's probably serious.
80% chance it's going to happen.
Well, listen, I ain't mad at you, bro. I got a dad bod, so if this shirt come off, there is no abs.
I got one too. I'm a dad.
But see, your dad bod look a little crazy.
Okay.
My dad bod is like 2 kids' dad bod. But thank you for coming out, man.
Word,
And also,
thank
we have the Unity Vibration Band.
Yes, Unity Vibration is here with us. They are Philadelphia's wickedest reggae band, hands down.
Definitely. Tell me about it, man.
Yeah.
We got to our left, Derry
Yeah.
on keys. He's an awesome guy. I got to meet him over a couple of years. I'm like, the dude to stand up, man. We got Dave on bass. I'm like, that brother, he's a monster, man. And my big brother, I ain't gonna say too much about him, but Nevin on drums.
Yeah, he's a problem.
Yeah, he is a problem, man. And so we got 2 Daves. We said Dave 1 and Dave 2.
Mhm.
But we're probably more familiar with Dave 2, our lead guitar, even for our own MuzNet band.
Mhm.
This brother's a monster. He's quiet kept too, man. He don't really talk too much, but when he speaks,
Yeah.
like he make things happen, man.
Seems like he's a knowledgeable guy too.
Yeah, very much,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
And
yeah.
even my other younger brother too,
Mhm.
Xavier. He's another stud too, man.
X-Man. That's
Yeah.
my homie right there.
Almost
Yeah.
like Professor X, but on keys.
Yeah, he's like, he's quiet and he's like thinking of some genius stuff.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
the quiet ones, man.
Just like Professor X.
Right, exactly, bro. You quiet, but you're not quiet. But tell me a little bit about yourself, man. As far as an artist, what was it like coming up for your artistry, or where did you kind of begin with everything?
I began around some time ago. We don't even. I began a while ago.
Don't date yourself,
And
man.
I started out writing poetry
Mhm.
and performing spoken word poetry.
Okay.
I saw a spoken word performance in Center City at this spot called Wilhelmina's that was open some time ago, and I just got turned on and turned out when I saw people like just speaking their words, the way that they wanted to. It gave me automatically a license to go and pen these things that I had in my head, and I thought about how I wanted to say it when I got in front of people, and it all started there, and then it just went right into hip hop music, and then when I did my hip hop, I would throw in some chatting in there and stuff like that, and a young lady that I taught her how to rap, and she heard my chatting, my reggae stuff, and she was like, man, like you should do that, like, yeah, she's like, your hip hop is dope, but your chatting is like nobody else is doing it, so just do that. And I was like, okay, and it was because of her I kind of like made the shift and decided to be more focused on reggae music, yeah. But I've also done some other things like I've done house music.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and things like that also.
Well, you done a lot, man. Even with the smooth little dance moves, man. Listen, it's not every black guy could dance. My brother-in-law would tell you.
Right.
I got 2 left feet.
Yeah.
It's a thing. You should see my.
Come
my
on, man.
wedding
You look
ring.
like a dancer. Y'all Jamaican until you have to know
yourself,
something.
no? Behave yourself. Looks can be deceiving. Don't believe what I'm telling you.
All right.
But no, I got 2 left feet. It's bad, bro.
Okay.
It's not like white bad. Not to
No.
sound crazy, but it's bad.
Can't be too bad. You're Jamaican still, so you must have something.
Well, I'm gonna drink something, man. All right, too. All right.
Bring some tequila for the man.
Yeah.
So.
But even with that, man, how did when did you even start being that part or adding that to your arsenal as far as an artist? But when did you include the dance moves as well?
Well, actually, as I said, I was a part of a house music band also here in Philly for some time. And, house music is like, dancing goes with house music. And so I would like incorporate that in our sets when we performed. Mm-hmm. And then our reggae band, we performed at a citywide competition here. And it was at World Cafe Live. And I'm like, what's everyone doing at this show? Everyone's just playing music and just singing at the crowd. I'm like, no, we're going to put in some dancing in there. you know. We took like a whole like little song to like do some dancing, and there were some judges, and they went over the judges like that, you know.
That's
So
nice,
yeah,
man.
you know.
And even the song "Stick with You," crazy lyrics to it. And again, for our type of music, it's more so cultural. What does that music more so say about you and your representation of what the message that you're trying to get across to everybody?
With as far as like stick with you or just,
Yeah.
well, stick with you. That was inspired by some song that I heard on the radio. I was like, it was like a Saturday morning, and I just turned on the radio, and this white man was singing these lyrics, and he wasn't singing "Stick with You." It was just what he was doing in between his lyrics and everything, and it just inspired me, and I just came up with my own lyrics, and being Jamaican, and if you're into reggae music as a Jamaican, you're into lovers rock, so it's no way you can like be into reggae music and not have lovers rock be a part of like the fabric of your makeup. So we're lovers. Jamaicans are lovers, and that's why the ladies love us. And
why I have two picnic already.
all right. And so
Buddy, I love you.
so all those things we can't hide that part of ourselves. So it comes out in the music that way. And with that song, I like the way Bob Marley writes his lyrics. He don't give you too much, and just give you what you need, and it's catchy and everything. So I wrote that song in that vein. Like, I'm not going to be too wordy in it, but the lyrics are going to still be powerful. Like, like in the beginning, say, me no care what you do, me no care what you say. I just want to see your face every day, when I wake up. You know what I mean? So like, just to paraphrase, like that resonates with me. I wrote it, but it resonates with me because like when I'm in a relationship, I'm with someone, like my person, like they mean a lot to me, and I love like to wake up with them. My mornings are really dope, like for me. And so when I'm with someone and I care about them, like we share those mornings, and that's where all those lyrics come from.
Yeah, especially, unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, with COVID being a crazy thing, we were in lockdown for a year prior to where they kind of let up a lot of things. So, yeah, you really got a lot of time with your
significant other or someone. Some people did. Some people got rid of their significant other.
Listen, I was locked down.
Yeah.
No, but that's cool. So, how much of your songs are replicated into your relationships? Or how much does a relationship kind of dictate to what you're the message you're getting out? Man,
it's everything. They're all in there. They're all in there. Like, I'm working on some new stuff now, and it's just like, again, like every guy who hears this song, like and loves any person actually, they hear this song, like it's gonna be for them because it's one question. Why you off you look so good? Why you off you look so good? You know what I mean? That's like, you see somebody and like, God damn, like,
yeah,
like you they look so good that you're kind of annoyed by it. Like, God damn, like why you look so good? Like, you just turn your way. I don't even want to look at you right now. You look so good.
Yeah, so I would put everything funny.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Something like that. So like, this is again, it's something from my life, and I'm with someone where like I that's me every day, and she'll tell you, like, I look at her and I'm like, God damn, like more than 10 times a day. I'm like, God damn, like,
yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
And even like you kind of hit it on earlier. I think you have, what's that called, like an electric skateboard?
Electric skate. Yeah, I ride electric skateboards.
Yeah, bro. I call you a little daredevil, but me and balancing the skateboard. But how did that kind of come into being a part of you?
Oh man, like I rode like a little skateboard when I was younger, I had
rollerblades.
Yeah, like well, me and my friends, we would ride bikes into other neighborhoods, and then one day we decided to do it, and I didn't have a bicycle. I rode a penny board, and it was a bad idea. It was a bad idea. I was scarred, and after that, I'm like, I'm never riding a skateboard again unless it has motors on it. And then so I was riding through Fishtown one day, and I saw a guy with a skateboard with motors on it, and I was like, I'm getting that shit. Like, don't get mad. And then I bought my first one. It lasted for about 2 months before I dove deeply into it and got into the whole do-it-yourself aspect of it, and built my own board. Well, I didn't build it. I sourced some builders. I got my own parts, and I got the builders to put it together for me. And I put something together that went like 43 miles an hour. And in 2019, I went to New York and I won a skate competition. There was it's an event called Broadway Bomb, and they had several categories in the race, and I won one of the categories.
Oh, nice.
So that was my first race ever, And the New York boys was mad because I came up from Philly and spanked them. That's what we do.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
you're talking about scars. Obviously, everyone is pretty much kind of scarred. Well, scars are a part of life. It kind of shapes us into who we are. So how much of the scars that you had growing up kind of got into your music?
Oh, man, like
I want you to tell me.
there's this one song I have called Slum Music. And then there's some lyrics in there where I said like, we can't get our we want our peace, but also the rats and the roaches want their peace too, and that's something from my childhood, like growing up in a house with like 12 other people. I made 13, you know what I mean? And there were roaches and there were rats, and it was traumatizing, and we had to do our best to eat. Our mother did her best to feed us. And, we did our best to maintain ourselves while she was well and everything. And but that was reality for us. Like, we had to, like, count all of our blessings and stuff, and we were up against things. The rats and the roaches in our house, the rats and the roaches outside of our house, but one thing about my past and my family was, like, we always stuck together and we always fought together. And growing up in Philly, in America, in like certain decades, like 80s, 90s, it was rough. But most Jamaicans here know, we had to establish our presence here, and we had to do it by any means necessary. And anybody who went up against us, they knew why we were Jamaican.
Right.
They knew why we came from where we came from. We come from, yeah.
I could kind of relate to that. My dad is one of 13, and I've always been in a big family. And I know the crazy thing, even with kind of perseverance or pressing through, even myself, came up when I was 3 years old. Back then, they were actually giving out real food on the planes. I still have my Air Jamaica fork with me till this day. So I know, because even my grandmother, God bless her soul, we were always raised. Again, we had like one bedroom. Literally everybody been in that room. So I know, literally seeing a rat run across the floor. But again, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
We
not
weren't
leaving.
blessed. Yeah, we weren't blessed financially to be able to have everything or have it all. Even
Right.
coming up here now, coming to a completely different country where it's like, man, we got to start all over. Again, my dad didn't know about the 401k, didn't know about tax credit, anything like that. So even for you, how, not easy or how, but how did you still persevere mentally, emotionally, and even physically to kind of get out of that? Because you can easily be sunken in that and let that be your life. A lot of guys that I know, they just think that's their end-all, be-all. They see better, but they don't want to achieve better. So how were you able to kind of push through and still kind of be where you are without having to be stuck in your past?
Observation, the skill of being a great observer. That's really what it is. Like we're here in this life, and our parents, they show us right from wrong, good from bad, and everything. But they're only going to show us for a certain amount of time, for a little bit. Then after that, then it's up to you to be able to decipher what's right and wrong, what's good and bad. And so I use my observation skills to even, decide how I want to speak. I used it to get out of the homophobic way of Jamaican culture. That was in the music from the time that I grew up and stuff like that, and and all that stuff. I like no one told me to not change my mind about being homophobic. I just I went out to some poetry venues and there were all types of people there, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, there's gay people here too, but this is where I want to be. So if I want to be here with them, I gotta accept them, So I had to change my stuff, you know what I mean? And that was again from just looking and reading the room, seeing who's around, and just making the adapting and being a great code switcher. I pride myself on being an amazing code switcher.
Yeah, and I think honestly you have to. Unfortunately, our hue, our skin color, still to this day affects a lot of the things that circles we're accepted to. Even to we could go into a particular area, but because of this, it's like, yeah, we don't want to. They may not say it, but their actions show that, or action speaks louder than words. So even being mindful of that. But one of the things I always think to myself is, if you were to be able to go back in time and say to your younger self, obviously now that you're in a pretty good place, but what would you say to your younger self, as well as other artists who kind of basically do the same thing you, not necessarily the same thing, but they're in a rut and they don't really see the light at the end of the tunnel? How would you kind of get them, as well as your younger self, continue to focus on the road ahead?
I said, don't spend that money. Don't spend that money, G. Like,
Ain't that the truth, man?
Or like use it. Like, you put the money to work for you. Don't spend it on that like meaningless thing. Don't waste it. And also, we can go back and and I can say that I can go back and tell somebody something, but like I really wish I can tell the people around me stuff. I wish I can go back and tell them stuff like, hey, like you go and grab that young man's hand and take him to a basketball camp. Go talk to that young man and see how what he's interested in, and see how you can support him and stuff. Because like, as kids, what can you tell a kid? They're gonna be a kid. They're gonna run around. They're gonna try different things. They're gonna explore. They're gonna jump off of things. They're gonna run into things. But it's up to the people around them to say, hey, don't keep running into that wall. You know what I mean? Don't keep jumping off of that ledge, because if you do, this is what's going to happen. So that's what I wish I can go back and do. Not talk to myself, but talk to the people around me. Yeah.
That's very big up. Well, appreciate that, man. Words of wise. So thank y'all. Thank you also for coming out. And listen, we got 2 more crazy songs that's coming up. One is a great cover song. I'm not going to give it away, but you got to stick around for the last song. So round 2 is coming up, y'all. Stick with us.
Listen, can't get a blind on them system, so I elevate my mind with this again, and I fly with the might of David, and lick down pressure without victory. Can't turn the dread into a victory, can't turn I to a statistic. You know see me naturally mistake. Come up on a dragon where you spit flame. Let we step into a new day, when we all feel the energy I vibrate, and you can be free by your mind state. Babylon and some boy can run away. Let we step into a new day, let we step into a new way. Bongo man come here so fi save the day. Some boys and some girls can run away. No matter how 45 is talking, unity and one love resolve it. No matter how the media is spinning it, it's more love than what they have on screening. Just wake up my brother from your dreaming, and make we step into a new day. Make we step into a new way. Bongo man come here so we save the day. Babylon and some boy can run away. Make we step into a new day. Make we step into a new way. Bongo man come here so we save the day. Some boys and some girls can jump. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, unity vibration. Yeah. Philly's most wickedest reggae unit. We are here. This is such a treat. This is one of my favorite songs to perform because it's just heavy. discreet. Them a bust up man me, and them asking no tea. Yeah, now out in the street, them a keep things discreet. Them a bust up man me, and them asking no, skin up, skin up, skin up.